Hey everyone, this video is to give you a brief explanation of how to organize your persuasive speech. Hopefully this will give you a pretty good idea of what the expectations are when it comes to the organization and structure for your persuasive messages. So getting right into it, one of the types of organizational structures is problems, causes, solutions. Main point 1 is problems, main point 2 is causes, main point 3 is solutions. So if we start with the very first main point, which is problems, you're going to want to take your thesis statement. So what is it you're trying to persuade us as your audience about? And I'll give you the example that I've heard many times. In many speech or Com 101 classes, that cannabis should be made legal on a federal level. So if we take that as our thesis statement, that's the main idea that we're getting across, that we're trying to get across and persuade our audience about, then we can ask ourselves, well, what problems exist when cannabis is not legal on a federal level? And we might have answers to those questions already based on what we already know about the topic, or we can find those answers through research as well. And so some of the things that we find, that there are high incarceration rates due to drug charges that have to do with cannabis. That when it's not legal on a federal level, we see a high number of prescription drug abuse, or that it bars access for medicinal users, many different problems that we can list. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take the two most impactful of these problems that we're listing, take the two most impactful ones and use those as our two subpoints. So we have main point 1, problems. Subpoint A, maybe high incarceration rates. Subpoint B, prescription drug abuse. And that completes our problems section, our first main point of the speech. Now, when trying to think of subpoints for our causes, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go back to our thesis statement, and we're going to say that our thesis statement is cannabis should be made legal on a federal level. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to say what is causing it? What is causing cannabis to not be legal on a federal level? And so, again, through our research or through our own existing knowledge about the subject, we'll come up with a list of different things that we could talk about, different subpoints. First of them, maybe federal scheduling of narcotics. That is one of the causes for why it's not legal on a federal level. A lack of understanding surrounding cannabis and surrounding its medicinal uses. Maybe it's the historical framing of the drug that is preventing, that's causing cannabis to stay illegal on a federal level. And perhaps it's also the prison industrial complex. We need to keep our prisons full, so we're going to keep cannabis highly illegal, a federal crime, in order to keep in order to charge people and keep prisons full. So we're going to list all of these different things that are causing our thesis statement to not be true already, and we're going to take, again, the strongest of the two, and we're going to use them as separate subpoints, because these subpoints are going to be used to support your case for why we should take action as an audience when it comes to the topic that you're presenting us. And finally, the last main point 3, is solutions. So this is where you give us ways that we can change this. Now your solution should attempt to address the causes you have chosen. So if we go back and we looked at the causes, whatever causes we choose, like say for this topic, our solutions should address that. So if it's federal scheduling of narcotics, our solution should probably address the federal scheduling of narcotics and specifically of cannabis. If it's a lack of understanding, our solution should be educate ourselves, educate others, in order to improve improve everyone's understanding of how this substance works. So for solutions, I just basically talked about that. Causes, if it's the federal scheduling of narcotics, then your solution might be a petition to reschedule cannabis from Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug, which those scheduling things, you can look that stuff up on your own, but basically that's a main argument for, that's a main thing that people want to do when it comes to legalizing cannabis on a federal level. So not only should your solutions address the causes that you have chosen and that you're presenting to your audience, but they should also be feasible for your audience to do. They should be things that your audience can likely do that same day, maybe. So if it's a petition, make it easy for them. Present them with a link, a QR code, something, a handout with information that they can use to help educate themselves or others about the topic that you're choosing. Make your solutions as easy for your audience as possible. Now, another organizational structure that's very similar to problems, causes, and solutions for persuasive speeches is taking it as causes, effects, and solutions. But you're basically doing the same thing. You're starting with your thesis and you're saying, what is causing the issue that I'm describing in my thesis? What effect does this issue's existence have, either on society, on individuals, on animals? What effect is it having? And finally, what solutions can we offer to whatever is causing it to help make this situation, make this issue, make this topic better? Now, that's pretty much it when it comes to the structure for persuasive speeches. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, good luck. I'm excited to hear from you.